Hi, everybody. This is David Skrika. So this is our stock chart of the day here. So we're going to look at our chart of the day is going to be pretty wild. And then we're going to look at two companies. One isn't even a client company yet. I just own it, but they just had some interesting news. I might get them to come on as a client. The other one's been a client company for a while. I was kind of waiting for the resource market to pick up. And I've informed these companies of this, but I've just decided to start it now. Because I just want to get this service up and running. I've got some great ideas for it. So I just, and I can do a lot with it for both myself and you, obviously. And I think people appreciate the combination of, the nice macro analysis and then having these micro, these companies kind of support it. And then you don't have to pay subscription fees. Best thing at all, right? So we're going to go look at this here. So our stock chart of the day is, and I do own it. I've started to average around in this at around 80 cents. I'm going to buy a little more. I think it's being sold into the end of the month because who would want to own this, at the end of the quarter, So this was like the poster boy for the weed bubble. So for those of you who are unaware, in 2016 in Canada, it was announced that marijuana was going to be made legal. And there was a huge boom in the industry, similar to .com boom, probably similar to what's going on in AI right now. I participated in some deals. I actually know someone who underwrote this at $3 a share, and they made a killing on it. So Canopy Growth was kind of the largest company, kind of the leader. And you can see it went all the way to $75 a share Canadian. It collapsed, and then it became obvious when legalization came in that there was problems, blah, blah, blah. But then there was a second run in early 2021, late 2020, after Biden won the election on hopes that there again would be, legalization. But again, that never came to fruition. There's all kinds of regulations and problems in the industry. And you can see this kind of collapse happened here again, So, and now it's been a total collapse from $75 to 65 cents. So, I think it's worth taking a stab at. I've looked at the financials. I don't think the company's going to go bankrupt. I think the one issue is they could potentially have to do a reverse split, which always kind of hurts the stock. But I think if you keep picking away at this, I would think at some point, you can see the RSI, which is a momentum indicator, is now under 15, which is the lowest it's ever been. So yeah, let's see what happens after the end of the quarter, which is basically Friday. So anyhow, you can see though, this is actually another theme we're going to do for video, is that all parabolic curves collapse. And, it's kind of, we're seeing that in some stocks right now. And we saw that in 2000 in tech, in 1929, in 1989 in the Nikkei, 1980 in gold, list goes on and on and on. We saw that in crypto a few years ago. All parabolic curves do collapse. So our first company we're going to look at here today is Blue Sky Uranium. So this is a company they just completed. They have a uranium property in Argentina. I highly recommend you watch Oliver Stone's new uranium documentary. We'll go look at it here for a second here. And it kind of explains, if you really are someone who believes in green power, green revolution, it's just the film is just called Nuclear. You can see right here, I'm going to get it today and watch that probably tonight. So you can get it. Let's go to YouTube and just quickly look here. Nuclear now. You can see you can buy or rent it. I'll probably buy it for whatever, $10, $12. So anyhow, yeah, it's supposedly talks all about the future of nuclear energy and etc. And again, you need it. So Blue Sky, they have a property in Argentina, which they're working on. Here was an update last month on the property, if you want to quickly look at that. They're doing the leach surveys, and they also have vanadium, which is a rare earth at the property. So you can see the stock has kind of been struggling. Disclosures, I don't own this one. They are a sponsor of Stock Charts of the Day, but it's come off here. And what's interesting about this whole green thing, and both for like battery power, solar, plus nuclear, if you really want to go green, we need investment in these companies. And I do junior mining, basically a ton of it in junior mining, and I can guarantee you there is no money coming in. So I keep telling people I do not know how serious this whole green thing is, other than politicians and greenies spouting off, etc. So anyhow, that's basically it. That's Blue Sky. And then, so, I like this a lot. I think down here, it's got a $16 million market cap, and it's fallen a lot. It's come from 20 cents down to 7. This is not, remember, these aren't Ricos here. These are just kind of looking at it. Look, they're doing, they just did this, they just closed a private placement where they raised $1.1 million for operations and the whatnot, right? So that sort of thing, right? So anyhow, that's all I have to say on that right now. But again, kind of an interesting little uranium play. And again, we need uranium. I'm gonna have more on uranium in the future. I have a friend of mine that's going to do some articles for the website, and he's going to write. He's a real expert on uranium, and he's going to write some articles on it. There's only so much I can do, So then the other one we're looking at here is Vortex. This is actually a placement I did a few years ago, pre-IPO. Oh, sorry, this is not the one. This is Vortex Metals. I wish that was the one because it's up 12% today, but this one's up 3% today. And Vortex, this is, by the way, they're not a sponsor. I just own shares in this. So that's basically it. You can see they can acquire up to 80% interest in a copper property. So this talks about it here. By spending so much money, the property looks really interesting. And again, copper is, Chile is, I think, the largest copper producer in the world. And copper is, again, needed for all your green energy, for your batteries, power, et cetera, et cetera. So this is an interesting one to look at here. The chart is actually quite constructive. It just started trading at the beginning of the year. And you can see it kind of like went to 19, but mostly the highs around 15, 16, kind of consolidated around 12, 13, and now is starting to move higher. Pretty good volume today. So that's one to look at it. And again, I own that in a private placement. I haven't sold a share yet. So that's basically it, Okay, so we're going to look at some other things here. I know actually that's about all we're going to look at today. So yeah, this kind of parabolic chart, and again, you talk about maximum pessimism. These are all down. I've talked about it in the past, 99%. And then Blue Sky Uranium closing first tranche of a private placement, and Vortex Metals acquiring the potential for 80% interest in a copper project in Chile. So, and if you want more information on these companies or on Stock Chart of the Day, please write me an email at any time. Thank you very much, and take care.